these trips I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what these mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with the Houston Texans. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Jackson on first down. That complete to Lamar Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Jackson to throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
It's 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now it's Jackson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the rookie from Temple, Rocky Sin.
Oh, no doubt, a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go. Here we go.
Here's the 2nd year back out of NC State, Naheem Hines. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Here's Locke. Flushed out right. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
The secondary, Charles, much maligned during the week. They didn't have their best game in the loss last week, but a nice play there.
Yeah, and I just know what they went through last week. I mean, ever since that time, the pride was hurt. They kept getting reminded of it in the local media, had to watch it on tape, and you know the coaches just got after them. They came in ready to play.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Pick Johnson odds poke free. Football's out. And now look at him go. 30, 10, touchdown Indianapolis. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Here we go.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Pierre Desir. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
A throw on the quick slant going to be complete, and he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards that time.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like...
Now a hit and Locke lost the football. It's out, and the Texans scoop it, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
Back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just...
And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked up by Malik Hooker, and the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
How about that scramble by Andrew Luck? Sometimes we forget just how big, strong, and yes, fast Andrew Luck is. When he came out of college at the Combine, shocked everyone, ran a sub-4 840.
And he grew up a big soccer guy over in Europe, so he knows how to use his feet.
That he does, and I think it has helped his legs along the way as well.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. This is Marlon Mack, third-year running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
It's just me and you.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock.
And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Chester Rogers, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts add on to their lead. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and it's now 14-0. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now out comes Houston. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they've got it 2nd and 7.
Let's go. 40. 12.
On 2nd and 7, Luck. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Mike, 53. 11.
From the gun, here's Luck. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson, and he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Caught left side, Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans draw a bit closer. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They've done nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Well, a couple of good division battles coming up in primetime this weekend, starting tonight with Sunday Night Football, Eagles and Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Then tomorrow on Monday night, it's the defending champs, the Patriots, on the road at MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets. 2 not to miss to close out Week 6. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
12.
From the 50, it's Long. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Hines. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. And he's got Rodgers. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 25 yards that time.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division every year is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Luck on 3rd down. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Vinatieri's kick is good. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. You really can't see it in his leg, maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard, that's about it. But as long as he's booting him the way he's booting him, keep going, big guy.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And now here is another interception. Picked by Pierre Desir. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Chester Rogers with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson, and he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now just 7 of 16 passing thus far, but he's got a 1st and 10. On the right side, this is Miller. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Jackson. And this is caught at the 8. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. And Jackson throwing once more. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd and goal. The field goal unit on the sideline. They're going to go with 1 second left. A final shot before break. Jackson, he can run for it, and he will. He's brought down after a pickup of 5, but he needed 8. 4th down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at about the 32.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Luck. Flush to his right. To the right side to Eric Ebron. Touchdown, Indianapolis. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. And the Colts add on to their lead. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flushed from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Justin Houston make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
To throw is Jackson. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Jabal Sheard He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Let's go. 240. 53. Mike, 53. Here we go. Let's bring it.
On first down, Hines. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
53. It's going to be a...
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Luck now to throw. They'll find Hines out of the backfield, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, this from 33. Vinatieri's kick is good. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, he's going to take this out of the back of the end zone. And that's going to be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. It's going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. And it's taken in at the 9.
That's it, baby. We got work.
Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They begin the drive with Hines. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 2nd and 12, Luck. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Great coverage there. Holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering Is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 19-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Here we go, D. All day. Defense all day. All day. Check 31.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They'll try the air now with Locke. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Chester Rogers, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Colts have got it on cruise control. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. Elsewhere, second half is underway up in Orchard Park. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
53, Mike 53. Let's go, defense.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
He's going to look deep end zone for Hopkins. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the rookie from Temple, Rocky Sin. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They run again with Hines. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Here's Hines on a toss play. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. On 2nd down, it's Mack. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Here's Jones on the return. Nearly a huge return as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hopkins. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. I know this defense knew it coming into the game, Charles, and they know it even more now. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough cover.
And anytime you see him out there and there's less than double or triple teaming him, take a shot with it. Just what you're talking about. If he's such a tough cover, one guy's not going to get it done. Throw the ball out there. Let him go get it.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start on the ground with Hines. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
Number 53, Mike 53, all day.
Throwing now, Luck. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. So Luck down to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game.
The play lost a yard. It's now 3rd and goal.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. But Charles, it's one thing to win.